Okie dokie. Give everyone a second to come on in. And then we will start. God. I wish Kamala Harris would just go away. Okay, let me get a beer and we'll start. Alrighty, this is Sandwich Challenge.
Got sniffles today. I think we'll blame the less than favourable Italian weather. Now, you might not believe it, but today we are just southwest of Venice in Bovalenta at a place called Academy Evergreen Burger. Admittedly, not the most Italian sounding restaurant on planet Earth, but they have an entire menu's worth of food challenges.
Holy shit, that's their menu? Welcome to our menu! Are you fat? You'll leave that way!
And Josh won, naturally, says I have to do the biggest one. They call it the killer sandwich, no less. Who's gonna? I did not expect that from the outside. There's a life-size Superman there. He's doing a most muscular pose there. I feel like you don't really need to do that if you're Superman. He's doing that thing.
Wait, how does Superman stay in shape? I mean, does he have like a red sun gym or something in his Fortress of Solitude? Because... I mean, when he's out in the yellow sun, the guy can literally move the fucking earth.
Where you carry imaginary carpets. You see like 50-year-old men doing that at like the range on a Sunday. They've got loads of cool stuff here. You gotta get comfortable and let's go for a look around. What do you think? Oh yeah, now we're talking. I told you I was old. I think I was like 10 when that came out, maybe 8. First game I got was Super Street Fighter 2, or maybe.
Wait, how old?
Oh yeah, now we're talking. I told you I was old. I think I was like 10 when that came out.
Oh god, when did the Super Nintendo come out? Because I was either 9 or 10 when I first got it. God, that game was so much fun. I gotta, hold on. When did the SNES come out? 1990 in Japan and 91. So I would have been 9 for that Christmas. And it came out for him in 92. So he is about my age.
Maybe 8. First game I got was Super Street.
God, all of us fucking old. All of us YouTubers are just getting old.
Street Fighter 2. Or maybe it's just Street Fighter 2. Could have been Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. There were too many versions for me to remember. I never had that.
3! Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and Super Street Fighter 2. That was it!
But I do remember Duck Hunt on the original Nintendo. That's Duck Hunt. I did that very...
Hey, I love Duck Hunt. Although I really wanted to shoot that fucking dog. Laughing bastard. And I'm dating myself.
Very carefully. Got some
How old am I? I'm 44.
movie posters. Back to the Future classic. Ooh, we got Voldemort there. Oh, there's an entire wall dedicated.
Okay, where is this restaurant? Because I immediately want to go to it.
To Lord of the Rings. I think that's Aragorn's sword.
No, that's not Aragorn's sword. That's Strider's sword. God, I'm a dork.
Presumably Frodo's slightly smaller sword, and Gandalf's staff, which I always thought was I don't know, it was a bit of a cop out. You know, when he eventually got a sword and the staff, but never really cast any spells. I'm not sure that's the best place.
Well, there's actually a reason why Gandalf just didn't go OP on everyone.
For them to put Gollum, because it sort of looks like you can see his...
Yeah, literally, why is this version of Gollum wearing nothing but a sock in his dick?
bunghole. This is cool. There's like an entire section dedicated to Jumanji. And they've got sort of
Jumanji's okay.
themed seats, which are different to the regular.
Not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but not horrible.
Seats, can you see that? Big fan of Robin Williams. This is a cool place, man. This might be the coolest restaurant we've ever been to in terms of the decor. From the outside, you would never expect this. Kill Bill over here with the official Kill Bill sword. To kit this place out would not have been cheap. Something about the crotch area with stormtroopers for me. Like, it's too smooth. There should be some type of decorative codpiece there, I think. Gotta mention this one, Silence of the Lambs, because it was my late father's favourite film. Weirdly, I don't really know, it's a bit of an odd one to have as your favourite film, isn't it? It puts the lotion on its skin.
Silence of the Lambs would probably be in my top 20 of all time.
Remember that part?
Dude.
Yeah. Could put you down a hole. You want to fight him, would you? Perfect type for Perfect type for a crotch shot is what I was gonna say. Probably a more favourable opponent for me. Not really lightsabers those, are they? They're not full size. More like light dildos. There's gotta be a market for that. Somebody's definitely made that product. This is a pretty cool wall of fame. And you'll notice there are a lot of people on there, but most of these people have done the easiest challenge, which is the burger challenge. One person has successfully completed the killer sandwich in 56 minutes. You only get an hour in which to finish it. I've got to give him props for that.
He's from London.
He's from London?
Yeah. He left £5 because he had no cash. So, you know, from that guy.
He must have been confident he was going to win then. He left currency which is basically useless to them. So he took the free meal, took the voucher, and came back with the voucher to spend it on more food. That's the kind of thing Randy would do, I'm telling you. For sure. So I guess 56 minutes is a time to beat. I suppose it depends on the two toppings that you choose. There are mandatory fillings, but then you get to choose two of your own topping, apparently. So that could make the big difference. Let's get this thing ordered.
Are you ready to order?
That was very official. Yes, I'm ready to order, yeah. Could I get the killer sandwich challenge, please?
Very few people that tried that one.
Yeah?
And
Because it's so big.
yeah, it's very, very big. Someone tried and then halfway through, they say, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah?
Don't seem that big.
I don't seem that big. I will momentarily suspend my offence and simply reiterate, I'd like to take the killer sandwich challenge, please.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I have to pick two toppings with this, right?
We suggest some extra vegetables because it
Yeah, because you're going to be filled up on bread.
make it smoother. But
Are any of the toppings sort of Italian? What about the gnocchi? Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, it's
Dude, gnocchi are little potatoes.
some extra pasta if you like carbs.
Carbonara?
Pasta carbonara.
Yeah? Is that okay, those two?
For us, it's okay. For you, I don't know.
This is a terrible idea.
It's a terrible combination.
Do gnocchi and carbonara.
Yeah, do that.
I can't even blame Laura this time, the translator, can I? Whatever. No point making it easy.
Pick gnocchi or gnocchi and carbonara. Carb City.
Oh my goodness.
Buon appetito.
Thank you very much. That's the first time I've ever seen a food challenge turn up on its own branded tray. It says the killer on there, can you see it from the front?
Yeah.
The little flags on the top. I love this place. This might be my favorite location of the year. All right, today I'm at a place called Academy Evergreen Burger, which is in Bovalenta.
Bovalenta, yeah. Not even Italians know where it is, Bovalenta.
Just southwest of Venice.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And I'm taking on their killer challenge. 1 hour to get it down, and only one person so far has finished. And he was also from England, apparently. I think I've covered the rules already, and this video is almost certainly about 12 minutes long at this point. So let's get into it. You ready?
3, 2, 1, partiamo.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Let's take out the flags first. Shall I do? I'll tell you what would go really well with this. Do you have barbecue sauce? Yeah? Jack Daniels sounds perfect to me. Thank you very much. Grazie. It would be remiss of me, I think, to not try and eat this like a
So, this place doesn't make their own barbecue sauce? Takes 20 fucking minutes.
sandwich. I feel like I'm being kind of a goofball now. Let's try and eat it like a sandwich. Thank you very much. Grazie. I feel like I'm gonna destroy the tray cutting it like this. Alright, here we go. You got that? I'm glad I did that. It tastes way better together.
Look at the size of that. It's absolutely massive. He's just cut one. The stick's off, and it looks like bigger than a burger you'd order in a restaurant.
Some barbecue sauce on there. Yeah. Looks like a Jack Daniels ad now. It is salty.
Well, yeah, it looks like burger patties, cheese. You got the carbonara, which has bacon in it, or guanciale, or pancetta, which is salty as fuck. And again, looks like bacon on there.
Come on.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Mi dispiace. Very good indeed.
Molto bene. How's the burger and carbonara combo?
Carbonara.
Carbonara.
Very good, man. Very good.
It's starting to put me off my food now. I didn't want the burger until I started watching him.
It's so funny that out of all the seats available, they're actually putting people over there. Those poor people.
Right, 10 minutes down, mate. 10 minutes down.
I nearly drank the Jack Daniels there. Normally the water's on the right side. Ciao.
You see the video?
Yeah? I'm sorry if I smell. Is that cool? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks. You probably don't want to touch these. Oh, what a nice fella. Let's have you go in this.
You get some footage.
again, I have to state, is this guy just born with two stomachs?
Looks.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time. You think that's halfway? I don't think it's halfway because I seem to have pushed a lot of the ingredients into one end of the sandwich.
There's a lot left there.
I think people are going to be wondering about the gnocchi, you know, because you don't normally see it like this. This is gnocchi romana, I think. Instead of the little balls, they do it in sort of discs. It's delicious, though.
For me, that cheese looks the best. It's making me mouth water a bit, that cheese.
I try my best not to lose any digits here.
Have you ever seen anybody as incompetent with a knife? Given his profession as well.
Oh, woo. Look at that. Does that look as good on camera as it does in real life? I mean, it looks very, very unhealthy because it is, but it does look good.
Yeah, again, I don't know how this guy stays in the shape that he's in.
I'm gonna pour out some of the barbecue sauce so I can dip into it. I feel like at this point I should paraphrase the legendary Boromir from Lord of the Rings, played by fellow Yorkshireman Sean Bean, of course, when he said, "One does not simply walk into Mordor. 'Tis folly." You can say the same about the killer sandwich. One does not simply eat a killer sandwich. Lost on you?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen Star Wars.
People already hate you. The nerds were probably still on your side. That's the last demographic to go, man. Maybe you got old people left. That's about it.
Oh God, did he misquote Lord of the Rings for Star Wars? Yeah, every fucking dork is, yeah.
37 minutes and 40 seconds left, and you slowed down a lot.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I am not unaware of the fact when I cut the last piece into 2 pieces.
Dude, there's no way. There's no way I could do that.
How do they look?
Very unimpressed.
I'm impressed. That guy from England managed to do it. This is no mean feat. The end piece as well. It's gone a little cold now. You can tell it almost looks like, you know, plastic cheese when they try and make Big Macs look good on the TV advertisement. It's not plastic cheese, obviously.
All right, Adam, that's halfway, mate. 30 minutes down.
Almost there, Joshy G.
Hey! American cheese is delicious. Fuck you.
Don't you worry. This is supposed to rhyme.
Stop it!
Without the barbecue sauce, that would have been very rough indeed.
Unbelievable. My face says everything.
This is Bibby's food, and that was Academy Evergreen Burgers Killer Sandwich Challenge.
Yeah!
So you get the meal for free, or do you get a t-shirt, a cookie?
Thank you. Can I ask you a question real quick? Do you have a dessert menu?
Yeah.
How the fuck does this guy always have room for dessert? Again, I swear to God, I wonder if he's just like bulimic in the bathroom.
A special dessert, you know, tiramisu, okay? It's a pistachio tiramisu. You didn't eat the flags?
I didn't eat the flags. Oh, here it is. Grazie.
I got.
The thing about tiramisu is, I've got sort of a personal opinion that it's best enjoyed simply. Once you start tinkering with it, there's a risk that you're going to spoil the whole thing. We'll see. Well, it's pretty good. I'd like it a little stiffer. Oh, man. Italy's been a slog. Oh, I did not expect a novelty check.
For
Just for me.
Adams.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't do anything. This ain't the Fellowship of the Ring. They did nothing apart from point cameras. Thank you very much.
That
Grazie.
too. So basically, he can get another thing.
Thank you. The best part about this whole thing is the commitment to the, you know, doing the food challenge. They obviously love it when people order it. Comes out its own little customized tray. You get a big, not quite novelty size check. I mean, I guess it's novelty size. It's just not the kind you give to lottery winners. You think this is exchangeable? Can I sort of give this to you to order your burgers?
We could try.
Yeah, well, we won't be doing that. All right, thanks, fellas, man.
Ciao.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Thanks. These are your burgers. These are heavy, man.
All right. Next up, one pot chili mac.
All right, you seen that title in the thumbnail, and we got a quick, easy, one-pan meal today. It's one of my favorite meals I like to cook when I want something real quick. I'm gonna show you guys how to make this chili mac and cheese. Y'all ready? Get in your kitchen, let's go. All right, let's quickly go over our ingredients real quick. Back here we have some crushed tomatoes here, tomato sauce. We got our ground beef here, our bell peppers. Right here we have some cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese here, mozzarella cheese here, a red onion, beef broth, some red kidney beans, cumin, black pepper, chili powder, some olive oil, paprika, chopped garlic, salt, and we have our elbow macaroni here. So looks like a lot of ingredients, but hey, we're gonna get the job done today. All right, let's get to it. All right, to get started, we're gonna take our olive oil here. We're gonna add it to our dish right here, or our pan. Gonna get that baby warmed up. Once that oil heats up, we're gonna go in with our onions. And we're gonna move these around in here until they soften. This will take about...
I mean, yeah, that dude every day would have to do like 2 hours of fucking cardio.
About 3 to 4.
Yeah, I'm tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And, I worked all day.
Minutes. Maybe less.
I keep forgetting that in my 40s, I can't exactly go on 4 hours of sleep.
All right, so after that 3 to 4 minutes, and you notice that those onions are softened, you're gonna go in with your green bell peppers and your garlic. And we're gonna get that moved around in here for another minute or so till you get that garlic fragrant and that pepper fragrance too. Man, that smells good. All right, so after that minute or so, we're gonna go in with our ground beef.
No, not really. I was just watching. I made the mistake of binging House of the Dragons, first 6 episodes of the 3rd season. Or is it the 4th season? Whatever it is. And then I noticed that Star Trek Strange New Worlds had it started its 4th season, and I watched both episodes of that, and holy shit, Star Trek has never done a horror episode, and holy shit did they pull it off.
We're gonna trade out utensils, and we're gonna start crushing our ground beef into our mixture. And we're gonna cook this until it's fully cooked and brown all the way.
I stayed up till about 10 o'clock, and I had to get up at 2:30 in the morning. You do the math.
Through. All right, so now that our ground beef is brown, we're gonna go in with our chili powder.
You're gonna drain it?
Our paprika, our salt, and some of that black pepper. And we're gonna cook this for another 1 to 2 minutes, get all those ingredients infused and talking to each other like we like. All right, after that 1 to 2 minutes, we're gonna go in with our kidney beans, our tomato sauce, our crushed tomatoes, and our beef broth right here. So you want to crank that heat up to a medium high because you want to get this to come to a boil. And while it comes up to a boil, you want to get that baby mixed in like this. All right, as you can see, the mixture is starting to boil. We're gonna go in with our elbow macaroni now. And we're gonna get that mixed in here like that. You wanna reduce your heat down to like a slight simmer now. And you want this to cook for the next 10 to 12 minutes. I'm gonna cover mine up. And we're gonna let that rock out for the next 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay, you're gonna cook your mac at some point?
All right, so we're about 15 minutes in. I had to let my pasta cook just a little bit longer than the 10 to 12 minutes. So we're gonna turn our heat off right now. Let's remove our lid.
Oh, okay, you cooked it into shit.
And guys, you want this to have some liquid in it. You know, I don't like mine thick without any liquid. I like to have some liquid in it. Pretty much just like this right here. Not too watery, but more like a chili texture, just like this, to be honest. And now we're gonna go in with our cheeses. So we're gonna take about 3/4 of our mozzarella here, add here, and about half of our Monterey and cheddar cheese here. And we're just gonna get this mixed in until it melts and becomes cheesy. All right, so now what we're gonna do We're gonna remove this from the heat. We want this baby to stop cooking. All right, now we're gonna take the remaining of our cheese and we're gonna put it on the top just like this.
Is that an electric skillet or burner or what the fuck is that?
The remaining of that Monterey Jack and that mozzarella. That's really not enough for me, so I had me a little bit more here on the side to add to the top like this. And all you're gonna do now is take your lid and we're just gonna cover this up for about 2 to 3 minutes, let that cheese melt, and we're gonna come back. All right, so we're about 2 to 3 minutes in. Let's remove our lid. Man, look at that. All right, so now we go ahead and get this baby plated up because you already know what's the next step, and that is quality control. Woo. Need a close up on that though. Go ahead and throw that baby down like that. Oh man. And guys, you know what would have been nice? You already know what I'm gonna say. Them jalapenos. My baby hot.
All right, I'm sure that's delicious. Next up, everything you need to know about pork steaks.
Every single time I post a pork steak video, there's one common misconception, but today we're gonna clear it up. We're here at Tuttle's Meat Market in Woodsboro, Texas. I'm gonna take you guys inside. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking for when it comes to the most underrated cut in barbecue. So if you walk into Tuttle's, you guys can get the seasoned or unseasoned thick cut pork steaks, which is extremely convenient, but our goal today was to bring you inside, show you what cut of the pig that these come from, and talk about why this is the most underrated cut in barbecue. You guys saw all the pre-cut pork steaks out in the grab and go area. Now we're in the back. I'm with Cody. He's one of my good friends and one of the owners here at Tuttle's Meat Market. And I wanted to ask him, and I wanted him to let you guys know, number one, where does the pork steak actually come from?
So it comes from the pork butt, and contrary to popular belief, it doesn't come from the hog's butt.
There you go.
It comes from the top of the shoulder.
Yes, and so
Yeah, I'd love to know how it got the name. The ham is closer to the pork ass.
that's one of the reasons why every time we cook pork steaks, I try and let you guys know 145 degrees is a safe temperature to take them to. But because it's in that shoulder and that pig is actually using it to move around a lot, there's a lot of muscle, there's a lot of connected tissue, and it needs to be broken down. So you want to take these closer to that 200 degrees if you're cooking a full butt, or if you're cutting it into steaks like we're about to do today. You still want to take it around that 185 to that 200 degree mark because you want to make sure that it's fully cooked. It's of course very tender and you've got a good bite.
So the first thing we're going to do is square this thing up. If you're looking at it from the top, you can see that it's kind of crooked.
Yeah.
And so we'll square that up, get it nice and straight. So
For the love of God. All right.
Guys will cut this out and turn it in because they're trying to make that money. And the second thing is that once you locate this bone, you need to take it out if you want to get good pork steaks because we don't have that bandsaw. I always like to go with a boning knife here. They're a little more flexible and they can kind of move in and out of this pork butt around that bone. I just lay it flat. You can see the bones here. I'm just gonna put my knife directly in, and all I'm trying to do is feel my knife on top of this bone. So I can see that the bone starts here and it comes all the way around to this side. So I'm just gonna take my knife, just try and lay right on top of that bone. Now once I get to the back side of this bone, I'm gonna start making a cut, coming the other way, keep going down into this pork butt here. Just gonna keep carving this out as best as I can. Now once I get to this side of the bone, I'm gonna kind of curve it back and we're gonna start completely working this out. I've got my bone here and I can really feel with this boning knife exactly what I'm cutting. So you can kind of see that this bone is slowly but surely coming out. I'm gonna continue to take my knife, I'm gonna feel that bone, and I'm just gonna work this knife around it. So now that I can feel the sides of this bone, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out. And this right here is exactly what we're left with. Now from here, you'll notice that we have a big gash in our pork butt, but it's okay. We're still gonna be able to get a few pork steaks that look absolutely perfect. Now I'm gonna switch over to a slicer, and I'm gonna use this slicer because it's long enough to get my pork steaks out of this butt. My first cut is gonna be pretty small. All I wanna do is square this up a bit. And this won't go to waste. My wife and I love cutting this up, putting it inside of our carne guisada. Now I'm gonna get my knife. I like to lay this flat. That's about 1 inch there. And I'll get a nice pork steak cut. And this right here is just the first steak. It doesn't look exactly the way I want, but it's still elite, and I'm gonna cook it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut into my next steak. And this one right here looks much better to me. You can still see a full steak there, no gash, but it looks better because it's not that first cut. Go for another one. And now you can somewhat see that gash where the bone came out. And this is where they're gonna start not looking quite as good as something that would come from a butcher, because the bandsaw would be able to cut directly through that pork without actually sacrificing anything and causing this big gash. Now, the other thing to note is when you're cutting these out, there is obviously...
Or you could just get a boneless pork butt.
Human error, so these might not be fully 1 inch. This meat kind of moves around a little bit, makes it a little bit hard to cut, so I might not be getting perfect steaks, but if you get them cut from your butcher, they're always going to turn out. And now you guys can see that periodically these pork steaks are getting a little bit worse as we move from right to left on that pork butt. The right side is going to be the side opposite of the bone, and the left side, obviously, that's where the bone's coming out of. So if you guys want the perfect looking pork steak, I do highly recommend getting it from a butcher if you have access. Most of your local grocery stores can cut these if you ask for them, but you do need to make sure that you tell them you want 1 inch steaks cut out of a pork butt. A lot of people don't seem to truly understand where these pork steaks come from, and I'm here to tell you that it's cut from the shoulder. Now this right here is a great comparison of a pork steak that I cut out of the shoulder by myself and one that was cut by my friends at Tuttle's Meat Market. So in our opinion, pork steaks are a very underrated cut that's inexpensive and not very known around the world. Typically, I see this in Texas or the southern states a lot more than any others. Let me know in the comments though, do you guys know what pork steaks are and where they come from? One of the common misconceptions I see a lot in the comments of my videos is that people think these come
They're popular here in Minnesota.
from the loin side of the pork. That's not true. These do need to be cooked to a higher temp in order to break down all of that connective tissue that's inside of this pork shoulder. Now, if you think about it, the shoulder is used a lot on that pig. It's moving around all day. You have to break down all those muscles and all of that collagen in order to get a nice and delicious bite. Now, when it comes to pork steaks, you're gonna want something that's a little more savory, has that black pepper, and has plenty of salt. You can season these however you want. We're gonna do 2 separate styles today, but the seasoning is gonna stay exactly the same on both of them. I've got my Southern Belle seasoning. This is made for beef, but it's got all of those perfect notes that I think go great on a pork steak. So we're just gonna start layering this seasoning on top. One of the things that I really love about Southern Belle is that you get that black pepper that's gonna come through on every single bite. I always say if you don't see black pepper when you're shaking Southern Belle, shake the bottle and start reapplying again. Now I'm gonna go ahead and flip my pork steaks over, and we're gonna do the same exact thing to the backside. You can use the board, all of that excess seasoning to get the sides. Try not to waste any if you don't have to. Today we're going to be cooking these pork steaks on my Quattro D drum smoker. I would be cooking them on my ceramic grill, which has instantly become one of my favorites, but it's just quite not big enough for what I want to do. What I'm looking for is the fat to drip on the coals, cause a little bit of those flare-ups, and get that fat nice and rendered. That's something that's really, really easy to do on these drums. If you guys want to do it on your pellet grill, absolutely do that. Just make sure you're running around 325 degrees. We do want that fat to get nice and soft. I'm gonna throw a chunk of hickory right on top, put my grate in, and now I'm just gonna space my pork steaks out as best as I can. Now, I've seen a lot of people cook pork steaks a lot of different ways. I prefer to cook a little hotter and faster and get these done in around an hour and a half. Typically, I won't even wrap them. I'll just let that fat get nice and rendered. And when we wrap them in the end to rest, we'll add a little bit of flavor. That's the beautiful thing about these is you can add that flavor in the end and make them completely different styles just with a little bit of sauce. It's been right at 25 minutes on our pork steaks. Now we want to come in and flip these over. I like to do that because on these drum smokers, the heat is coming from the bottom and I just want to make sure that we get a nice and even cook. One of the great things about the drum smoker is as soon as I open it, you can actually hear the sizzle inside of this drum. That means that fat is dripping right onto those coals. We're gonna flip this over. You guys can see we got some really nice color here. And the thing that I really love is that you start to see that fat bubble. You can see it here. Hopefully you guys can see it in the camera. The fat is getting nice and bubbly. That to me means that this is cooking properly. What this also allows me to do is see the difference in my smoker where that heat's actually coming from. So on the front side, I feel like I have a little bit more of a sear on this steak than I do my others. So I'll rotate this grate. That way I do try and get that nice and even cook that I talked about a second ago. We want the fat render that we're getting here on every single steak. We're not quite done with this cook, but I do want to check. We're around 150 degrees on this steak here, over here, still around 150 degrees, but the difference is I'm getting a little bit better fat render here. As always, I do not recommend keeping your drum smoker open this long. That allows oxygen in and the heat is gonna go way up. But in this specific situation, I would do what I say and not what I do. You do not wanna let this drum smoker get out of hand. And at this point of the cook, we're just letting these pork steaks continue to go. We're gonna check these in another 25 minutes, see where they're at. It's been exactly 50 minutes on our pork steaks. And as I open this up, I can see things that I know make for a good pork steak. I can see that fat is popping on this pork steak. Everything feels really, really soft and squishy. You can see we're right around 190 degrees on this pork steak. That's the one a little further from the fire and a little bit smaller. And you can see here on the front, we're a little bit further along, around 194. That's the perfect temperature to take our pork steaks off. Now we're inside. These pork steaks are fully cooked. You can see that fat is nice and squishy. And at this point, this is when I'm allowed to get a little bit exotic with what I'm cooking. So I'm gonna grab a stick of butter. We're gonna put my pork steak right over top. We're gonna go over top with some Killer Hogs, the barbecue.
A stick of butter.
Okay. Sauce. And then also with a drizzle of honey. Nowhere near as much honey as barbecue sauce. That's the way we like to eat it. What this allows us to do is really add flavor in this resting stage. This pork has been cooking really, really hot for almost an hour, but you want to make sure to rest this so those muscle fibers can relax, everything can get a lot more tender, and all those juices can redistribute. So this is what I would make if people were coming over and I wanted to give them a standard, delicious pork steak. All those barbecue flavors are gonna go a long way. And this pork steaks for me, you guys know I love Asian flavor. We're gonna use Bachan's Yuzu Citrus. This is incredible stuff. I really just love all of their sauces. So I like to go a pretty heavy dose. Plenty. It's just the way I like to do it. You guys do you. And we'll also throw just a tad bit of honey on top. And since I no longer need heat and I don't need these to cook anymore, they're just gonna rest on my counter for the next 30 minutes while we clean up and get ready to eat. After a 30-minute rest, we're ready to cut into our pork. From the backside, I can feel that fat is nice and squishy. You can see right here, it almost looks like it wants to fully melt away. From the backside, I can also see that it's like a darker yellow. That means that we got...
All right. 5 barbecue recipes that fix the bad backyard.
Now this video is for anyone whose family has a self-appointed pit master that should have been impeached years ago. You know the...
Yeah, a lot of families have their Uncle Lou.
One, they somehow burn the chicken, yet it's still raw on the inside. They dry the burgers out. They tell people that brisket is supposed to be gray and somewhat falling apart. And they still tell people that beer can chicken changed their life. Today I'm giving you 5 barbecue dishes so that you can prove to your family that you should be doing the barbecue. Or just send them this video, let them think it was their idea so that you can enjoy better barbecue without any of the work. Hey, I'm Joe and this is Fork and Embers, the barbecue channel that chases the story, cooks the food, and occasionally says some shit that makes a softie unsubscribe. Now I've picked 5 barbecue dishes that anyone can make to impress their family. And we're gonna be going back through the videos with details, corrections, answers, and things that we should have put in the video in the first place. Now we've also cut these videos down so that you're not sitting through a long drawn out history lesson about how Christopher Columbus affected the chili pepper trade. All of these recipes are over on my website at forkandembers.com. Now let's take barbecue to a whole nother level. Now first up is the rotisserie chicken. So today I'm gonna be showing you how to take a humble grocery store bird and turn it into something majestic. Kind of like a swan with a criminal record. And all you're gonna need is a Weber kettle, a rotisserie kit, and a healthy disrespect for the fire marshal. First thing we need to do is get a bird. Next thing is we wanna dry brine this bird because we want that skin to get really crispy. So all we're gonna use is salt. We wanna make sure that we get salt all over this chicken. Make sure you get every nook and cranny. You wanna make sure you spread those wings out. Also get some in there too. So now that we have this bird completely covered with salt, we're gonna set it on a wire
I'll have
rack.
to do that.
And we're gonna put that in
soon.
the refrigerator for about 24 hours. When we come back, that skin should be really taut and it's gonna result in a perfectly crispy skin.
I'll have
So I'll
another
see you
case of
tomorrow.
beer in a
Or in a
couple
TV
of
time,
days.
3 or 4 seconds. All right, so the next thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna truss this chicken. Trussing it is just pretty much tying it up. And the reason we want to do that is because we don't want these legs or these wings to really be hanging off the chicken. They'll overcook, they might burn. I'm gonna do my best to show you how I do it. All right, so what you want to do is take this string, 4 or 5 feet, probably enough. Place it, the middle of it, under the chicken here. You're gonna pull it up over, cross it, then take these 2 pieces on each side, run it under the leg, and when you pull, that should pull those legs together like that. That's what we want. Now, we're gonna turn the chicken over, go in front of the wings here like this, and we wanna tie it above the neck here. So do a couple loops, very simple, squeeze. And then I'll keep doing those until I feel comfortable. You don't want this thing coming apart on the grill. You'll see this rope here. You don't want it on the thigh here. You want to put it behind it. Same thing on both sides. Then cut that off here. Last thing you want to do is take care of these wings here. Now you can either cut these off if you want, or what I like to do is take it and stick it under like that. I've never had a problem with them coming out. They usually go right behind the neck like that, and that keeps them from popping up out of the rope. And we keep those wings tight to the body so that they don't end up getting burnt, overcooked, or falling off the chicken. So we have this thing trussed. Next, we're gonna be using the rotisserie. We're gonna go ahead and put it on here so that it's ready to go. And I actually like to season it after I've gotten it on this rotisserie right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Just stick it right inside there till it comes out the other side there. This piece here needs to go into the back side, and then you just tighten that down. And that boy ain't going nowhere. So what I like to do from here is I actually just season it with some pepper. We're gonna be keeping it very simple because we're gonna be bringing some flavors with a base later. Let's just do a little bit of coarse pepper. Cool thing about this is you got a built-in handle and you can just rotate it while you season. And we don't need to add any more salt. That thing's been sitting in a dry brine all night. We don't want it to be too salty. Okay, so now that this is on there, let's talk about how we're gonna use the Weber kettle. The fun part. So the first thing you need to do, get you a charcoal chimney and you fill it completely full. Then you want to light those charcoals. While we're waiting on those charcoals to light completely, you want to get you a drip pan. Get one like this. I like the narrow ones because I'm going to set it directly under the chicken. I don't want it to be square and taking up a lot of the, cooking area that I can be using. Get one of these, and you want to place it directly on the center of the Weber kettle on the grate. But not on the top grate. We're taking that out completely. We're not going to use that at all. Reason we want to use this is because we don't want to fucking mess at the bottom of our Weber kettle when it's all said and done. Place wood on both sides of the drip pan. We're going to cook that down to essentially coals, and that's what we're going to be cooking with. I'm using a mixture of cherry and oak. I like the color cherry gives me, but I like the smokier flavor that I get from the post oak. But use whatever wood you have available. I hadn't really seen other people using wood splits either, but I was like, why can I not use wood splits? At the end of the day, these cookers are literally just fire management tools. Do what you want with them. Burn whatever you need to in it. And wood splits make sense for a rotisserie. You're just cutting out a couple of steps when you go to the store and you buy a lump charcoal.
So is he gonna put the charcoal
But personally, I
on
like
top
the
of that
flavor
shit?
of cooking down my own wood. And I think this shows just how diverse, these Weber kettles can be. Once your coals are burning completely clean, go ahead and toss them on top of that wood. From there, it's probably gonna take about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how much wood you wanna use, to actually burn down into something that you can cook with. You don't want flames jumping up and cooking the chicken because you're not gonna get it even cooked that way. So just make sure that your wood is burning cleanly. And once you've reached that far, the fun begins and we get to throw the chicken on to the Weber kettle. All the rotisserie kits are pretty similar. I have the Weber brand one, but they all should pretty much be the same setup. This one is so you replace a beer can with a $200 rotisserie. Now I assume this idiot here is talking about my barbecue myth video, where I say that a beer can chicken is as useful as a bag of dicks with no handle. The thing is, spatchcocking chicken and cooking a rotisserie are not even close to the same thing. Yeah, they get you to the same end goal, which is cooking your chicken. But when you're rotisserieing a chicken, it's self-debasing as it turns. Spatchcock is helping you cook faster. It's completely achieving a different goal. Now, most are gonna come with a ring that you place on top of the Weber kettle. Go ahead and place that on there. Mine also has a motor that comes with it, so I'm gonna go ahead and hook that up as well. And you're gonna have to run a cord out to it for it to be able to work. Next, you wanna take the end of the rotisserie and you'll actually have to stick it into the motor end so that it'll be able to turn it, and then just lay the chicken down across the middle. And you want to make sure that that chicken is setting directly over the pan because you don't want that fat dripping down and causing too many flare-ups. You hit that button so it rotates for you. I'm not going to stand there and manually rotate the chicken for an hour or two. So I recommend getting one that has a motor. If you don't have nothing better to do but stand there and rotate a stick, I envy you. Now, you just let it cook and we'll move on to the next step. Now, I kind of took this aspect of the video for granted. I assumed people would understand that the lid goes on the Weber kettle while you're cooking the chicken. So no, don't leave the lid off for the entire cook. The only time I take the lid off is when I'm checking temperature, or I'm basting, or checking color or something. You don't want to be standing around a really expensive campfire, so make sure you keep that lid on. One exception is that when you put the chicken on in the beginning, you could leave the lid off just to allow that skin to kind of get adjusted to the heat, because sometimes when you put the lid on, really high heats can cause the skin to tear a little bit more, but even that's not necessary. So put the damn lid on. Next question is, what did you have your vent set at to keep it around 350? Now, in my Weber kettle, I keep the bottom vents always wide open. I control the temperature by adjusting the top vent. It's really difficult for me to tell you exactly how much to open your top vent, right? Because you're cooking with live fire, you gotta kind of get a feel for it. Best thing to do is take a thermometer, stick it in the top of that lid and see what your temperature's running. If it's really hot, then start closing off some vents. It's all about controlling oxygen. If you're from the South, I definitely don't need to tell you what this is. Your grandmama and your mama probably has this in the cabinet somewhere. This is a rendered down pork fat. We're gonna use this as our basing liquid, so
basically bacon grease.
what you wanna do is you wanna take a pan, you wanna take this pork fat, and put us a good amount in there. Let's say about half a cup. Next, what you wanna do is you wanna take some garlic cloves, leave them whole, toss them in there. Next, you want to take some red pepper flakes. I want to add a little bit of heat. Add whatever your heart desires here. I use about a tablespoon. Next, out of my garden, I grab some oregano. Just take those, throw them in there. If you can't get fresh, get dry from whatever, grocery store. And also got some thyme out of the garden. We'll toss that in there. What you want to do with this is toss it on top of the Weber kettle, because we don't want to fry the stuff in here. The reason rotisserie works so well is because as it turns, that juice tends to stay on the chicken longer rather than just dripping off of it. And we're gonna start basting about 15 to 20 minutes, or after you start seeing a little bit of color on your chicken. You wanna baste it about every 10 minutes until that breast reaches 160 and that thigh reaches at least 175. Now you could put aromatics in the cavity of the chicken, but the goal of this recipe was to keep it very simple and straightforward, and plus we're getting a lot of aromatics in the base that we make in this video.
All right, I gotta call it. I'm exhausted. Good night, everyone.